Hi, y'all. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Becky.
And together we're a cruising good time.
We have taken the White Pass Railroad a couple times and had a fabulous journey both times. We're going to tell you about this experience and give you tips throughout the video, saving the most important tip to last.
It is a great time. It's a fun thing to do right there in Skagway. I'm a railroad nut. I love to ride railroads. I don't get a chance to do that very often where I live. This is a narrow gauge railroad. It goes all the way up the valley, up into Canada, makes a turn and comes all the way back down the valley. Very scenic. I love it. It's a lot of fun.
Me too. It is so beautiful. The scenery is fabulous. The history is incredible.
Thank you to all our returning viewers coming back to watch us and following us on YouTube. We really appreciate your support. If you just found us with this video, please give us a like and subscribe. Check out our channel on YouTube. We have a lot of great cruise videos out there that hopefully you'll find interesting.
We have put links to our Alaska videos below.
Cruise ships will come into Skagway on one of these three piers. You have the railroad pier down at the bottom. You have the Broadway Street Pier right there in the middle, right off the street of Broadway in downtown Skagway. And you have the ore dock right there at the top. That's a dock that just opened up in the last year or so. The train can come to all three of these docks, pick you up if you have booked a shore excursion through the ship. This is the picture of the railroad dock, and you can see the train right there in the background where the arrow is. And this is a picture of the Broadway Street dock, and you can see right there where the train is. Both cases, we just literally walked off the ship right onto the train.
So this tour is going to last around 3 hours. You can purchase tickets either through the cruise ship or directly from the railway. We recommend do it first thing in the morning, book it from the cruise ship. You're early off the ship, you have this fabulous tour, and then you will be in town just in time for a delightful lunch. You may pay a little extra if you purchase from the cruise line. It should be within $10.
So our journey begins right outside of Skagway, and we parallel the Skagway River for quite a ways, and actually all the way up and down the canyon, but you can't quite see it as we get further into it. Wear layers. This is Alaska in the summertime. The climate can change quickly, and it can change just on this train as we go up to 3,000 feet to the summit.
Another important tip is to bring a camera. You are going to see some beautiful scenery.
But don't expect to see much wildlife. It is quite loud as the train comes rumbling up the track here.
One of the things I love about this trip is all the discussion about history. In 1896, 3 men found gold in the Bonanza Creek in the Klondike. And in July of 1897, the Seattle newspaper had huge headlines about gold being discovered, and the Klondike Gold Rush began. Tens of thousands of people made their trek to Skagway and Dia, Alaska, to begin a 600-mile journey inland to the Klondike.
One tip for riding a train is to take some time and stand up, walk out to all the cars have a platform in the forward and back part of the cars. Go out there, get some fresh air, and get some really great photos. It's a great place to get some photographs.
Some of the amazing things about this train is it goes from sea level to 2,900 feet in about 15 miles. It was built using hand tools, black powder, and regional timber. The challenges from the terrain and weather made it become an historic civil engineering landmark. And what's amazing about that is there are only 36 of these landmarks, including the Eiffel Tower and the Panama Canal.
I always like engineering landmarks. So this part of the trail, you can see the original old 98 trail, and that's that narrow trail down there that you can see as we drive past on the train. That's the original trail that the miners would walk down or walk up to get to the summit here. So we're nearing the summit. This is crossing into Canada. So we're going from Alaska into Canada here. We've made it to the summit, and we're going to circle around the lake.
One of the amazing things about this is that the Canadians made each of the miners bring in a ton of goods. So it's not like that they went up the pass just one time. They had to go up as many times as it took to carry a ton of goods up to this point before they were allowed into Canada.
After the loop, we leave the Canada to the United States. That obelisk up there marks the summit of the passageway there. Now we're going back down towards Skagway.
So you can see, so this train is replacing the original 45-mile trail that the miners used to take.
So this train's a narrow gauge railroad. As you can see right here, it's got it right up into the rocks as they cut it. And because it's narrow gauge, it does kind of rock around a little more than a more modern, wide, normal gauge railroad. But that's part of the fun of it. There's two major tunnels on the train. This is the one towards the summit side of it.
It's amazing that they blasted these tunnels at that point in time with the black powder. And they only had, I believe it was 2 deaths when they constructed it.
This is Dead Horse Gulch towards the top of the pass.
The bridge spanning Dead Horse Gulch was the tallest cantilever bridge built at that point in time. So when they constructed the railway, they opened the first 2 miles within 2 months. In 1899, they opened the path up to Bennett Lake, and they completed it in 1900s. And by that time, the Gold Rush had already been completed.
This is coming into the second tunnel, or lower tunnel, on the route.
Another tip is that they will provide free bottles of water, and they will have snacks for purchase.
And souvenirs.
And it's also important to note that there is a bathroom associated with each one of the trains.
Yes, that is an important thing. It's about a 3-hour trip up and down, 2.5, 3 hours. This is an old bridge that they've just recently decommissioned, about 2 or 3 years ago.
And you can see there was a good reason for that.
Whatever reason, the ride up seems to take longer than ride down, and it may actually be a little bit longer because you're fighting gravity going up.
And the views are just amazing.
Yeah, we were blessed with really nice weather this day. We have done it when it was a little more rainy. You can just barely make out the cruise ship in the water there. It's all the way down the valley, right there at looking down to Skagway. So that's probably about 15 miles away or so. The conductor says there are 6 trains that typically operate on this during the summer season, and each one of those trains will make at least 2 trips up the pass each day for all the cruise ship passengers, because Skagway are expecting 1.3 million cruise ship passengers in 2024. So there's a lot of passengers and a lot of demand for the railroad.
This is the #1 destination in Skagway. So for the rail cars, they like to name them after different things like cities and rivers in Alaska or the Yukon or Canada.
One of the things we recommend is get them to drop you off in town. When you come back, you don't have to ride it all the way back to the cruise ship. It'll stop at the depot, and then you can go into town and look around, get some food. So when you get to downtown, air quote, downtown Skagway, right there by the train depot, there's some stuff to see right there at the train depot. They have the historic building. You can kind of walk around. Of course, there's a souvenir shop there, and you can kind of get a feel for the old type of train depot from back in the day. And that's kind of a neat thing.
Yeah, and I also love the snowplow they have out front for display.
Yeah, that's really awesome, and that was very necessary for what'd you say, they get to 200 and...
Up to 200 feet of snow a year in the upper part of the pass.
So they have to have that plow to plow it all the way through, no doubt about it.
So one of the reasons why I like to do the morning tour is you have a fabulous morning tour, get dropped off in the city at lunch, get to walk down this city that has just amazing ambiance and views, and try out the foodie scene. There are some terrific restaurants. And
Skagway has a couple unique things about it. One is they make a spruce tip beer there, which has a very unique taste to it. It's kind of citrusy. I like that a lot. And then they have the Klondike Doughboy right there too, which you can only get right there in Skagway as far as I know. Both of those are kind of fun things to do.
Skagway has so many things to do. So typically we would do this in the morning, and when we do some other shore excursion in the afternoon, and maybe even a hike on top of that. So the most important tip is where you sit. When you get on the train, you want to sit on the left side of the train. So one side of the train is facing the rock wall, the other one the scenic beauty. And on the way up, the guides are going to do more of the talking, so you'll be able to see the scenery right through the window as they do the discussion.
Absolutely. Definitely sit on the left side of the train as you're going up the valley, because you'll really good views that way of the bridges and the tunnels as they come on. And like Becky said, you get a lot better view with the description coming down. You'll get a rock wall on the side coming down. That's okay. You've already seen really good stuff coming up the valley that way.
Another important tip when selecting your seat on the left is just check that the window is placed where it's easy to look out of.
Yep.
Some of them have wood obstructions, etc. Thank you so very much for watching.
If you found the video useful, please give us a like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. It really helps us out.
Until next time, have a cruising good time.